Hey, how's it going? I'm Roger.
I'm Ben.
And we are a couple of
dudes from Utah.
And we're here. We're going to talk about stuff that's on our mind, places we've been, things that we've done in college, movies, pop culture, anything of interest, because the only common theme that we'll have every week is that we are
dudes from Utah.
So, you are now listening to Dudes from Utah.
It's like your own little private Idaho, but not Idaho.
But right next to it.
Yeah.
You are listening to Dudes from Utah. This week, it's only one dude from Utah. It's me. It's Roger. Hi. How you doing? Ben is out this week. But while he's out, I wanted to dig into the archives. When we were trying to do the podcast over during the pandemic, like really early on, almost like a month after the pandemic started, we randomly called a friend of ours, Branden Ushio. We were like, hey, get on Zoom. Let's just try to do a podcast. And we just shot the breeze. And so this is the lost episode of Dudes from Utah. Branden Ushio, miss you, man. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, for the rest of you listening in, enjoy the episode. You are listening to
Dudes from Utah.
I'm going to kill you. I'm gonna kill you, man.
I just thought we could do it in unison, like we're holding hands. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to shut up now, for real. Go ahead.
You are listening to Dudes from Utah. I'm Roger Sang.
And I'm Ben Jones.
And hey, Ben, today we have a special guest with us on our show today. Do you know this guy?
Yes, actually. I know him more on the fact that I've seen him on a computer than anything else. But yes, I know him.
You met him at Utah Podcast Summit, right? Yes. When he was an organizer there?
Yes, I've met him in person many times. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Totally cool. FanX, I think I bumped into him at FanX, but we probably didn't know that we bumped into each other at FanX, because I'm pretty sure you and this fine specimen of a man has been in the same places with me. Yeah, right. I wish I was tall. Have you ever heard of that?
I just realized the three of us can be like models for a men's store, like have different sizes because we're all different sizes.
Yes, but it'd have to be in a Chinese workshop or something.
That's good. I think he's Chinese.
I don't know what you guys are.
We're going to find out. Dude, let's find out.
Anyway, cool. Yeah, man.
Well, welcome to Dudes from Utah. We're going to be getting inside of Branden Ushio.
I'm not sure how I feel about this introduction, but thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. There won't be any better introduction, Branden. I mean, come on.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't feel comfortable about it because it is accurate. Or it doesn't talk me up. I'm just not sure how accurate it is.
Well,
Branden, what is your ethnic background?
I'm half Japanese.
Oh, you're Japanese.
But my height comes from my Japanese side.
Oh.
So I'm 6'5".
You're 6'5"?
You're 6'5"?
I'm 6'5". My dad is 6'4", and he's full-blooded Japanese.
Whoa.
I know that. So, my personal domain name is overgrownasian.com.
Definitely. Seriously though, is that big and tall? Do you shop in the big and tall?
Oh yeah.
That totally is big and tall, right? Okay. Clearly we wouldn't know.
Clearly we wouldn't. It's funny. What was the name again?
Overgrownasian.com.
Overgrown. See, mine's overgrownhobbit.com, because if you've read the book, hobbits are little people, shorter than smaller than dwarfs. Yeah, yep, there you go. That's cool, man. So I didn't know it was. I assumed that you're half Japanese. Have you ever sung the song "I Think I'm Going Japanese"? I think I'm going Japanese.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure awesome. I have. And I'm sure I've been asked that question too.
It's a good song. I'm just saying.
This is great. Ben is surrounded by Asian people constantly.
Seriously, dude. I've got Branden, a good-looking fella. I've got Raj, good-looking. Well, and then and then my wife is Asian. She's from China. Well, her family's from China. She's born here in Utah, and then my kids are obviously cute little half Asian kids. So no matter where I go, I'm like in a 1% situation. So
we're happy to have you.
It's pretty cool.
We're happy to have you, Ben.
Thanks for letting me be a part of this. I feel
It is my show now. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Thank you.
Something to tell you, Ben.
Thank you, Branden.
Which, by the way, Branden, you have a couple of shows that you are on a podcast, right? That you're a host on. Tell us about those.
Yeah. So I've done a couple shows over the years. Like most podcasters, once you start one, you have to start 15. I have been for the past 6 years working on the Fandom Podcast, and that's just a show that we talk about positive fan things. It's really easy to hate things right now, and it's kind of cool to hate them, but I love it when people love things. So on the Fandom Podcast, we talk about the things that people love. Right now, I've been doing a lot of interviews with people, talking to them about their fandom, five fandoms that have positively influenced their lives, and it's really kind of cool to see that. I've dabbled in daily news shows. It's still available, but it's retired now because a daily news show is a lot of work. I am a occasional guest host on a show called Super Dirt that should be launching here pretty soon. And that one's fun. It's kind of a parody of the news process. It's like the first part is straight up dry NPR-ish kind of parody news, talking about things from the fandomverse. And then the second half is like a TMZ style show. We accuse Batman of insider trading because he's going to go take down companies that and sell their stock before he takes them down. We accuse Spider-Man and Peter Parker of being in a romantic relationship because they're seen together a lot, but they're not. Right? But that's how tabloids work, right? And then in the next episode are straight news stories that just play it really like they're professional news people. They report on the rumors that we created on the TMZ style show, which is kind of how real media does it anyway. The wackos say things, and then the news people report on the things that the wackos say, giving it a little bit more credence. It's just kind of a fun take on the news.
That's one with Bobby James, right?
Yep, I do that with Bobby James. He and I and Chrisella, we started the Utah Podcast Summit. I've stepped away from that at this point, but I love those guys.
They're great. No, I love them. Bobby's great. Glad you're doing a podcast with him. So, and then you're currently in a working from home state, right? Just like most of us?
Just like most of the world right now, right?
Cool.
So I have my attic that I get to sit in all day long now.
That's cool. Do you listen to Armchair Expert?
I've never. I know it's hosted by Dax Shepard. But I've never
it's so good. But his setting is in his attic. And so I see your attic. I'm like, I want an attic so bad. That's cool. Hey, Ben, what are you drinking over there? I'm curious. Every episode, I have to figure out what Ben's either eating or drinking. Wait, turn your mic up.
My mic?
You're very quiet.
Is that better?
There you go.
Sorry, I had to bring it down because I was afraid that you could hear your audio through my microphone. So anyway, so yeah, I am drinking water. Today is just straight up water. I was gonna bring down, dude. There's this new thing where I don't know how new it is, to be honest with you, but it's a Dr. Pepper cream soda, and I don't know if you guys have ever had that. And I'm not usually a big fan of that stuff, but man, it is good. Was gonna bring that down, but I figured it's kind of early,
Where did you get it at?
Well, while I've been under quarantine, I went out and faced the coronavirus. And
that's what I was going to say, dude.
Yeah, we went to Smith's. We just went and bought it.
Have you not seen my profile picture? The stay home, stay safe, quarantine, man.
Yeah, everybody
That's
else.
You.
But here's the problem, dude. What do you do when you need food? Mm-hmm.
You eat your kids. Anyway, listen, so Branden...
Here's the problem. I'll just be hungry later.
So Branden mentioned that he stepped away from Utah Podcast Summit, which is fine. But we're excited because he actually is working on a new project with us.
I am.
And he's dedicating that time to us, and we're excited. We are, I'm going to let you guys talk about it. I talk about it way too much, so I'll let you guys talk about what we're doing.
Your voice is so sultry. And really, you should be talking about it. But, Branden, why don't you go ahead? You're the guest.
Keep handing this. No, you go.
I wouldn't want to steal this from you, Ben, but I will go if you want me to.
Please do. Please do.
All right, so we are working on Podcast West. It's amazing. Like, as things were going with the Podcast Summit, they're great people, but I just realized that I needed to step away because I wanted to expand out in the podcast space. I filled out the paperwork to leave the organization, and Roger called me the very next day and said, hey, we're doing a podcast festival. We want you in. And I was like, well, that timing works out perfect. So Podcast West, we are really focusing on ways that podcasters can produce publish. I'm going to forget the fourth track here.
Market,
influence. Market. And that's the problem with my podcast is I always forget the marketing. Market and then influence as well. And because really, when you look at how podcasts operate, they're influencers. We're all, sometimes that word has gotten a bad rap in general nomenclature, but we're influencers. And it's really kind of cool to see the people that are stepping up and want to come talk to a group of podcasters about how we can improve our craft. That's really what it is. It makes us better, and making us better make podcasts better for the people who listen to them. So it's really just kind of going to help the ecosystem out there.
I was thinking just last night, I was going to text you, is Branden is giving a talk titled After the Snap, kind of based off Avengers Endgame and the Fandom Podcast that you do. But I was like, wow, come October, that's going to have a totally new meaning now. with all
I was
COVID-19.
Thinking about that as well. I was like, I might have to change that a little bit.
It's funny because that's how I've been with all that's going on. Like when you drive on the roads and you go outside, I seriously think that whole end game has kind of taken place because you're seeing 50% of people outside about this point. So now I kind of can figure what I can relate to what Captain America was saying to Black Widow when he saw the whales out in the ocean over the bridge or whatever. At that point, if you remember, it's like, okay, this is getting a little eerie, but I miss people, man. It's awesome.
Have you guys watched Endgame since this whole COVID-19?
I don't dare. I don't dare do anything.
This
is a weird
experience.
problem that we're in. It's a weird problem we're in because this is the first time in my life that I've ever had a problem that I haven't been able to solve just by me buckling down and working a little harder.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how I don't know if I could handle Endgame because in my day job I run a data center for a school district. I'm one of the team that runs the data center, and I've been busy, and so I haven't had a lot of time to stop and think about it. Although I don't know where people are finding more time to do things during this because it's just been busier between making sure my kids get their school done and getting my job done and doing it all from home. It's a crazy time.
It is. And being the teacher is it on top of everything. That you nailed that. God, it's hard. I don't remember math being so hard as a 10-year-old. Just saying. I guess things bumped up since then.
Well, you're not Asian, so
that's true. Oh, my kids.
No, I'm the stereotypical Asian. Aside from my height, I work with computers. I was going to be a math teacher, so.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Cool. And then I taught for a semester, and I was like, oh no, I'm not good enough to be a teacher. I'm going back to computers.
Everybody in math class that sat around me all failed math. It was weird. That's an Asian joke, Ben, because people think Asians are good at math.
Yeah, well, no, so. I've seen your math, so I'm there. Yeah. Just kidding, man. I'm kidding. So
sorry, Ben's probably the best at math out of all of us. Is the funny thing.
No, seriously, math was by far my worst subject of all things. I hated it. But no, I wanted to be history buff. I wanted to be English major as well. I wanted to go into psychology, do all that kind of stuff. And big thing was communications. But then I ended up doing what I'm doing now. And,
you did bring up a good point there, is that you're all teachers, right? I mean, you both have children that are grown enough to having to do the homeschool thing right now.
Right.
What have you guys been doing with your families? I want to hear about during this COVID-19 situation. What have you guys been doing with your families?
It's very interesting, Raj, that you say that because I don't know. I think every day is just a blur. I don't know. I just wake up and go, is this still happening?
Surviving.
Like I'm waiting for the zombie apocalypse next. I mean, we're pretty much just, other than the Walking Dead situation, we're there.
I was going to say alien invasion.
That one too. Yeah. Hey, could anything at this point.
Why not?
Yeah. I had a really good friend post on Facebook that we are clearly in a time loop and have to become our best selves because every day we wake up and it's just the same thing, right? And we're over and over and over again. He said that in one of the comments, he said that the kids are clearly in like the Groundhog's Day where they just Bill Murray it all the time. But the parents are more like Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise in the Die Repeat.
That's totally awesome.
I know by the end of the day, I feel like I've been hit by a bus.
Yeah, right.
Branden, you talked about on your show, you like to do the top 5 fandoms. What are your top 5 fandoms that have influenced your life?
That's really funny because
we get to ask you on our show. See?
I know I've actually avoided answering this question, just kind of because I've been asked a couple times during my interviews, and that part just somehow kind of falls out in the editing process. I don't know.
Not this time.
So I mean, it's kind of a running joke that kind of the Tom from MySpace kind of fandom that just everybody has is Star Wars. I love Star Wars. It's the prequels, the original, the new series. I just love Star Wars. The books, the comics.
Well, hey, thanks for being on our show today.
Okay, Raj is the one person in the world that still thinks that Star Trek is better. But
dude.
So that said, Star Trek. See, I'm not. This is not. I don't rank my children. It's like saying that I've got a favorite child, right?
Right.
So Star Trek has probably been the most influential fandom on my life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
It's dictated my morality. It's taught me how to look at the world and how to be accepting of others and to stick up for the little guy and to do what's right even when everything around you is telling you that it's wrong.
Which Star Trek?
Dude, yeah. That's I guess I didn't pick up on that when I was watching all that, but then again, I don't understand a lot of it.
You're on classic Star Trek. Which Star Trek was the influential one for you?
The one that got me into it was The Next Generation. I mean,
Same.
it was just
awesome.
Just the right time.
Yeah. Yep.
And I remember we went to a timeshare condo up in Ogden Canyon when I was a young child, and I remember it because we got very poor TV reception, but my dad made sure each of the kids sat in the right place so that we could get reception for the second part of the 2-parter of Star Trek. And I can't remember which one it was. I just remember it was a second parter. My dad was like, "We have to watch this, and Branden, do not move your arm because that ruins the TV reception."
Nah.
But just TNG. But if I were to pick a favorite, I would make everybody mad at me. Voyager is my favorite. I'm a sucker for a story home.
Voyager, really?
Yeah. It also helps that it was the only modern one with an Asian in the main cast. At that time, Garrett Wong, Harry Kim, was the only male Asian in any TV series.
Wow.
At that time.
We talked about this. We talked about diversity and representation when we were speaking at Outlier Podcast Festival.
Yes.
It's huge. So I get you, man. I connect with you 100%. It's like Asian person. I'm watching that show.
Yeah, for me, it's like, hey, Caucasian guy, look at that. I bet you guys can relate. So wait, but what about Zulu? Wasn't Zulu in...
Oh yeah, he was in the TOS though, right? And that was not that was in syndication when I was when I was at school. Like it was on TV, but it was pre age of DVRs and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Speaking of, you got a picture of him right over your shoulder there.
I do. I met him a few years ago. We have some mutual friends, actually. So,
oh, my.
Yeah.
Is he Japanese?
He's Japanese. I know it's hard to understand he's Japanese, but he is.
He is. Okay.
You have mutual friends with him?
Yeah. No, we've got mutual Facebook friends, and it's interesting because when I went to meet him at one of the conventions, I walked up and Brad, his husband, was there, and we were talking, and we were just talking about things, and he was talking about how he knows some people in Utah, and I was like, oh, really? That's cool. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, I know them too. And so we just started talking. We've got a handful of mutual friends. So
honestly, it's George Takei, right? That's how you say his last name.
Is it Takei or Takei?
It's Takei.
Oh, I've been wrong.
I know, and everybody, all of the world has said it until the whole "oh my" has come into place. Yeah, which has been hilarious. But seriously, he is awesome. Just watching him and kind of following him, he's just a really cool dude. I don't know, he is influential. Being a Caucasian, I would have to say that. But that's cool, man. I will say this: I wasn't growing up. it was always Star Wars for me. I always want to be Luke Skywalker, all the forces and all that stuff. That's always been my main thing. But my big thing with Star Trek is my dad and I would sit down and we'd watch all the old episodes. And then when the newer episodes came on, we'd do the same thing. And I loved it. So really, as much as I joke around about making fun of it, I actually do like Star Trek. But between the two, I'm always going to put Star Wars above, because that to me is more action-based. There's more, I don't know. To me, that's, I don't know, with the Force and how it plays in with the, kind of a religious kind of a base, I guess I should say.
The good versus evil.
Yeah, exactly.
The hero's journey.
Yep, exactly. So, but I've always liked that.
I 100% agree with everything you just said about both those fandoms, with Star Wars having those interesting stories and almost religious overtones, and then Star Trek being a connector. Like, the thing about Star Trek is it's been around for long enough, and it's Star Wars too, but it's been around long enough on television where you could sit down and have those bonding moments. I've talked to several people who their moments with their dad was sitting there watching Star Trek. It's really cool.
It's interesting to see it, because it isn't really super action based, in my opinion. Star Trek, from what I remember and watch, but
until you get to the J.J. Abrams reboots,
those are awesome. Those are amazing. Those are way cool. I'll watch those all day long. Those are way cool.
You know what's funny is I filmed a movie with Chris Pine up in Ogden, and I was his limo driver, and literally the movie he shot right after that was Star Trek, and I was like, I drove his limo. I could have driven his starship. I could have been Mr. Sulu.
You could have. Oh my.
Could have. Well, that's cool. Hey, I got some rapid fire questions for you, Branden.
Oh.
Because you're on Dudes from Utah.
Welcome to Dudes from Utah. Do you remember that?
Hang on just a second. I apologize.
Hold on. He has to get back to work.
Branden just left because he didn't want to do the rapid fire thing, so I will answer in the place of Branden.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Ben, rapid fire questions.
Yes, go.
Best burger joint in Utah?
Definitely McDonald's.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Okay, rapid fire. Best pizza place in Utah?
Este Pizza.
Okay. Best vacation spot in Utah?
That would be Peoa. No, I'm answering for Branden here, so.
No.
No. If you're answering for me, none of those are accurate.
I'm going to come back to Branden. We're doing yours. Okay, and then.
Oh wait, you're doing me now? Jokingly.
No, Branden. I was doing you. Okay, Branden. Okay, Branden.
I'll be serious.
Welcome back. Okay. Branden, rapid fire questions.
I'm sorry.
Best burger joint in Utah?
It's one that you don't think of as a burger joint, but Verge's. I love their burgers. The Blue Explosion burger is just a mess to eat, but it's delicious.
Is a hot dog a sandwich or a burger or a sandwich?
Is a burger a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a burger?
Oh, no, hot dog is not a burger.
Okay. Best pizza place in Utah?
That's got to be the Pie.
Okay. He's clearly from Salt Lake Valley.
The Pie.
When you were did you grow up here? Are you from Utah?
Yeah, I grew up in Salt Lake.
Okay, good. When you were growing up in Salt Lake, high school with the cutest girls.
Oh my gosh.
That's hard.
Ben, I'm coming for you next, man.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to go with Brighton High.
Like a 20-year gap between all of us.
I went to Cottonwood High, but I'm going to go with Brighton High.
Brighton, okay. Ben, same question for you, because you said, oh my gosh.
Dang it. Probably, I don't know, you had some hotties at Cottonwood when I was in high school, man. But then again, I'm like much older than you guys, so, but they're all beautiful, every one of them. No, it was probably Cottonwood for us.
He was very political.
I
love all
what
of
am I
them.
supposed to say? My wife's going to listen to this. She's going to say, why not Highland? And I'll say, because they were drunkies. But, I don't know.
Did she go to Highland?
Yeah, she went to Highland.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm going to, honestly, it was Brighton. I just wanted to see if I could differentiate, but Brighton, definitely.
Okay, then last but not least, Branden, you're obviously a moviegoer. Best popcorn in Utah?
Oh, that's hard.
Get this right. This could define our friendship.
It's not hard, actually. It's very easy.
It depends. So if you go to Megaplex and get the fresh popcorn, it's good. But if you get the tub that's been sitting there for 2 hours, it's not good.
This is a conditional question.
Isn't that
conditional
the same for
on when you
everything,
get
though?
it. Fresh popcorn. If we're talking fresh popcorn, I'm going Megaplex.
Just fresh, yeah. Megaplex. Oh,
good.
You won. You win. You're in the crew. You're
in the crew. You are now initiated.
You're now.
And when you use the microwave, how often do you use the add 30 seconds button?
I didn't know there were other buttons. It's literally every time. So we talked about this on last week's episode, and literally everyone I've spoken to about this, I'm like, wow, everyone uses the add 30 button. Yeah, my kids, they ask, how many times do I push the button when they put something in the microwave?
Yep.
It's like, press it twice, press it once, press it 3 times.
Okay, I had this epiphany, this realization that I need to look into. That popcorn button that's on the microwave, I wonder if you can change the preset on that to custom set that to be your popcorn setting.
Well, you'd probably have to have an expensive microwave.
Yeah, and that's just like too much work. That's too deep thinking. Just push 5 minutes and just sit there and wait. That's what I do. Everything's 5 minutes. How long is this? 5 minutes. My kids, how long do I put this in for? 5 minutes. And then it burns.
5 minutes.
Like, well, you tell me 5 minutes. I'm like, well, you're supposed to watch.
You mean the jet start button 10 times, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Branden, I forgot one more last question.
That's funny, man.
Best vacation spot in Utah?
I'm a bit of an introvert, so I love to go. It's that timeshare, right? My family would go to that timeshare frequently up in Ogden Canyon, just because it was in the middle of nowhere, nothing around, nothing to do. We could sit around, we could go outside, and I was not dealing with a lot of people. So in Utah, that's definitely where I'd go. That
is a beautiful canyon, though. That is nice. Yeah, that's cool. So wait, you said Verge's Burgers?
Yeah, Verge's has some pretty good burgers.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Go support your local restaurants once we get out of our houses.
Well, yes. But yeah, okay, so...
Unless if you're Ben.
You can do takeout.
We go out.
Are you a non-believer, Ben? Do you feel like this quarantine's not working for anybody?
Okay.
You totally are a non-believer.
First, no... How deep do we want to go? I got to get my okay.
We've got a few more minutes.
Yeah, we do, and we're going to listen to me on those. That's what's going to happen. No, for me, I don't know. I'm a big believer. In fact, of all the different things that have gone on, like if you look in the past with what is it, bird flu, and was it SARS and all that stuff?
SARS, MERS,
SARS, yeah,
H1N1,
yeah, the swine
H6.
flu, all the stuff. HG doubles. Okay, but no, I like all those. I didn't think were as big of a deal. Like back then, the way I was taking it was like, okay, well, it's out there, but it hasn't affected us too much. But this one is starting to scare me, and so because I have asthma, and with that in play, it freaks me out. Yeah, well, because I'm in that percentage that if it hits me, I ain't gonna make it. So it does freak me out. So it does. I hate going out and doing any sort of shopping, but I also realize that we're in Utah, and watching how the statistics are on all this, we're really not. I mean, we are affected, but we're not affected like New York or L.A. or some of these major cities in the United States. New York is completely shut down. I've got a client back there who's like, I can't even go to the bank. He says, if I go to the bank, they have to come up and I have to, like, it was like all one-on-one transaction kind of stuff. Like, they are being super serious, which is good though. But, when I go out and go shopping, it's like, well, I've got to have something. I got to have food. We planned for this, but you're going to run out of something sometimes. So what's going to happen? And I also, for fun, I'm going to let you in on something. This is a little secret that I've never told anybody. For a while, for the summer.
This isn't a confessional, man.
Oh, okay, never mind. No, I don't really like McDonald's burgers.
I've seen you with
only
McDonald's.
when he's answering for me,
I've
right?
been going to town. Yeah, that was when I was answering for you. No,
I've seen Ben with a Plenty McDonald wrapper.
Yes, I definitely jam those down my gullet really quickly. But no, dude. So once in the summer, I thought it'd be fun just to go make some extra cash, and so I decided I'm going to try this DoorDash thing. So I went and DoorDashed, and I thought first, I'm like, okay, which is totally, if you know me, that's like totally opposite of what I do ever in my life. But it was fun. I mean, you could go out and deliver stuff, and boom, some extra cash, not bad. But now is the best time to do that, but I don't want to because, it's like, it's the most epic time because people are ordering all over the place and you're always getting all these notifications. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go out and pick up food and deliver it to someone who may have it. So it's kind of a catch-22.
But they're doing the drop it on the doorstep thing right now, aren't they?
Well, they are, which is good. And I mean, I haven't gone out actually since this whole thing's gone on, but
your interaction is increasing because you're receiving, and that could be where you're getting something from.
Yeah. But here's an example. When my wife and I, we decided, hey, we need to go shopping. We need to go to the store. So we went to the grocery store. We got everything we needed. And for, in case we are on complete lockdown, like, hey, don't even leave your house kind of a situation. So we decided, let's take it that serious. Let's go to that level for the next couple weeks.
Totally.
So we did. And when we came back, before we did anything, we're like, okay, kids, go to your bedroom. And we brought all the food in. And we literally Clorox wiped every freaking box, everything. Like, we did everything. And but I mean, that's like overkill, but at the same time, just don't know. Right, exactly. Anytime, everybody would make fun of you. But now I'm like, nope, don't come in until we wash the counters down, wash your hands. So we are taking it serious. But at the same time, people forget that you still have an outside. You can go out and do what you want to do. You can go out and enjoy the world. It's just...
The trampoline has been the best thing for my children ever.
Same thing here. My kids have been digging that like no other, man. It's been great.
I gotta go buy a trampoline now.
Yeah, you should, Raj. Yeah, it gives them something to do. But your kids are kind of young though, man. They probably just watch Howdy Doody or something.
Yeah. Oh man, you're making like all these like old references, Ben. The original Star Trek, Howdy Doody.
I plugged that in because I've never watched an episode of Howdy Doody in my life.
Well, hey, Branden, thanks for joining us today with the Dudes from Utah. Anything else you want to say to our listeners that you feel like would be valuable?
Well, just like the things you like. And let other people do the same.
That is great.
It's beautiful. I think I cried a little bit.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Jeez, I thought we were leaving. I know,
I had to.
Yeah,
and Raj can edit this out.
Now I'm thinking, like, what is mine? But all my toys are.
I know yours. Raj, you know yours.
Oh yeah. Dun 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 dun.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea.
That's the intro to Arrow.
I could do that.
Oh, that would be why I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't watch? Okay.
Wait, you like Arrow more than Flash? Raj.
I love Arrow, man.
Okay, I just make sure.
I love Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell is a pretty cool guy. He's really cool. Cool. For my choice, though, I don't know why I had to think about it so hard. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man has always been my favorite. I love a good coming-of-age story.
Same here. I personally think that I'm a big fan of Spider-Man 2. And I know we thought we were ending, but really quickly.
Wait. Spider-Man 2?
No, well, that was actually pretty good. The pop sells pretty high on that one, just to let you know. The Funko Pop.
Wait, I'm thinking not the new Spider-Man 2, but the original Spider-Man 2.
Oh, no, I just like Spider-Man in general.
Like the Tobey Maguire.
Not like specifically
Spider-Man
who acted
2 with Tobey Maguire was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
That's true. It was 3 that wasn't so good.
It was 3 that was weird.
At 3, Sam Raimi kind of went a little too over the top on that.
Okay, so you mean Spider-Man. You're a fan of Spider-Man also.
As well.
Okay, just to clarify.
Yeah, no, but I will say, with all the Corona stuff going on, I do feel like maybe Infinite Earths is more like what we're living right now. Like, I feel like we just somehow shifted to Earth 2 or 3 or 27, because this is just we're not Earth 1 anymore. This is weird stuff.
Dude, you just jumped from Marvel to DC, so it threw me off for a second.
Yeah, well, keep up, Raj.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, you can't.
All right, well, let's wrap this baby up.
All right.
Wait.
Hey, thanks, Branden, for being here.
That's weird.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, Branden, thanks for joining us on the show. Would you come back and join us again in the future?
I'll have to think about that one. No, I will. Obviously, I would.
That was
if we make it to the future.
The truth hurts.
All right, you've been listening to Dudes from Utah. I'm Roger Sang.
I'm Ben Jones.
And he is...
Branden Ushio.
There we go, buddy.
The camera was pointing the wrong way.
We really don't ever have a proper exit, so this is it.
Our exit, yeah. Okay, well.
Okay. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast.
Hey, we appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
And we want to read your comments and reviews on the air. Leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts, or post your question on our social media, or slide into our DMs.
Yeah, you can even put a paper airplane and throw it towards me. I'll read it on air.
Yeah, courier pigeon. We should do it that way.
That's even better.
You've been listening to Dudes from Utah with Roger Sang and Ben Jones. Dudes from Utah is produced by Salt City Garage. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dudes from Utah, or get exclusive content at
dudesfromutah.com.
Thanks for listening.
Awesome.